my son out there swimming. He's having a blast. I don't know. I know if I try to show you, it's just not going to work. So, what the hell? Let's try it. Let's see. Let's see if I can show you. I don't know if you can see through the window. I'm going to guess it's going to glare. Can you see? Yeah. Whoa, there you go. Check him out. He's killing it over there. So he he really can't swim exactly just yet. So he's got his floaties on, but we got him in swim class. He's doing good. All right. So welcome. Good morning. Super excited. We got a little bit different format here than usual, and I'm excited for it. So we have a couple people on that I'm going to do some coaching for, and you'll get to watch and participate. He's looking at me. and then I'll answer some questions. It'll be super, super cool. So a couple things. One, let's do a giveaway. So if you want to possibly win one of our Time, Money, Freedom books, feel free to share and then click the or drop me a comment. Let me know that you shared, and I'll pick a few people to we'll send this to you. We'll ship it to you. And then also for everybody, it is we have a brand new leadership resource. This is brand new. We've never had it before. You've never seen it. And that's at higdongroup.com/leader. That is a 3-video series. It is free. So check that out at higdongroup.com/leader. Let me pick some winners. Okay. I'm trying to remember who because I've been doing a lot of lives here lately, and I've been giving out a lot of books. So I'm trying to see who's double dipping here. All right, Julie Aiken gets a Time, Money, Freedom book. Tara Adams gets a Time, Money, Freedom book. Sarah Hollingsworth gets a Time, Money, Freedom book. And she's read it, apparently. That's cool. Let's see. Who else? Shannon Taub Milliken gets a Time, Money, Freedom book. And one of our earlier coaching peeps students, Annabella Maya, gets a Time, Money, Freedom book. So if I said your name, just shoot an email to support@higdongroup.com. We'll ship you out a book. So my team didn't tell me who was up first coaching wise, but the first person that was on is our friend Julie. So I'm going to bring up Julie. Julie, how are you?
Good. How are you?
All right. Where are you at? Like the movie theater or something?
It's my basement. It's
okay.
all superheroes and music.
Nice.
For Star Wars.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. So tell me a little bit, how's your network marketing journey been? How long you been in? What are you up to?
I mean, a long time ago, I did like Mary Kay when I turned 18. That was a disaster, and did all those and failed miserably. So I was done with it until
Why was it a disaster? Like what
because
made
I was
it a disaster?
And it was not at all what I wanted to do. And it was just parties and pushing things. And I was like, not my thing. So, and then I taught ballroom dance for a long time, and then it just wasn't something I wanted to do. And then actually the last 5 years, probably, I was looking for my son, my oldest, who has Tourette's. I was, done with doctors and on this mission to find something to help myself. And so we did like the CBD route. I tested them all for years and nothing. And then that's how I ended up where I'm at now. And I decided, like, if I was going to do this, I was going to do it exactly what they say. Like, there's no option. Like, this is going to be the one, like, everyone's like, oh, another one, but I'm going to be like the millionaire, I've decided. So
you've been in this company 5 years?
No, they're only 2.5 years. I've been here since 4/20 last year, actually. So just over a year.
Nice.
Oddly enough.
So a little bit over a year, year and a few months. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so what, where are you at with the company?
I'm doing okay. I mean, it's not bad. Okay. It's better than I've ever done. I have like recruited the dead, you know, like, and you're trying to drag them. I've got all of them. I have 14 people that I've recruited. 3 are good. They just, I'm guessing just as I change my energy, I'm going to attract better people. But I'm, they all say the chronic overthinker, but I'm like in learning mode, especially with all this, like all the things always happening. And I'm like the FOMO. I'm like, I have to go. I have to do this. I have to do that. But it's like, I can't just go do it. You know, and I have it like planned out. Now I have the planner and the journal and stuff. I'm like, I got it all. That's all I've been waiting for. It's like a system. I can just go bam, bam, bam and be done for the day. Except I like allergic to doing it. I don't know what the problem is. I just, I don't know.
Are there other things in your life over the past that you really wanted to do, but just couldn't bring yourself to do them? Things that you started, but didn't finish and things like that?
Yeah. Well, that's part of the thing is I've been into the Joe Dispenza and all that. And like, I absolutely love this stuff and I'm there mentally, but it's like, and then I open my eyes in real life is 180 from that. So it's hard to go back and forth.
What do you mean by that?
Like, there's not so much peace. Like it's constant hell, if you will. So it's
What's
hard.
hell?
Like
what do you mean? I don't know.
Me and my husband don't get along.
You and your husband?
Mm-hmm.
Your current husband. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's, you know, it's an issue obviously, but we're trying. And then, with my oldest with issues too. And it's a lot of tension all the time. So it's like, I'm trying to do that. Like I get to that point and I'm like, change, you know, from the book. And I'm like, just not. So I've been super focused on making this huge, like the business part, but it's like, I just keep thinking and thinking. And now I tried out a group, like my niche, and I don't really like it because I'm just finding more moms that want to teach or do or help in a way. So now I'm back.
You're finding more moms that want to teach or do or help.
Like as far as like helping moms with, you know, mindset or whatever like that. When I search all these things, I'm just finding more people talking to moms, how to help them do, you know, self-talk and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really just finding more people doing what I'm doing. So.
So you're a few things here. You know, one is you know, when you're, so do you do meditation often? Every day?
Yeah.
You do it every day?
For a few months now. I just started with the big long one from the breaking your habit, being yourself, from that one.
Okay.
That's a long one.
Which one is that? Is that the blessings of the energy centers?
It's like you're in water first, and then it's to change on something you don't like.
Oh, is that changing boxes?
Yeah, it's like to get rid of a personality trait you don't want.
Okay. So I think, you know, there's like, what's the first step in mindset, and then what's the first step in change, right? And so in mindset, it's you know, at least from my take, is it's to become an observer. And so when you get out of meditation and you go back into the fold, right? You go back into the war or whatever, you know, whatever you're drawing there. It's you, because you can't, you know, you're not going to come out of that and all of a sudden everyone's magically happy and no stress, nothing. And thinking that is only going to constantly prove you wrong, right? Which will make you doubt everything else. Like, am I even doing this right? Like, you know, you'll start to overthink things. And so when you come out of meditation and you're back into the chaos, just start to observe how you feel and how you think, and become an observer versus an autopilot, versus this proves what I was thinking. I knew it wouldn't change. And so long as you fire that muscle, that emotion, it only gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So soon you get even better at proving yourself right, which is actually the opposite of what you actually want. And so you can, as an observer, you can alter your reaction to the world around you. And you can choose to not get upset. You can choose to not retaliate. You can choose to not fight. But if you're not observing your reaction, then you're on autopilot. And so you're just going to go back into the fold, and and that meditation was probably a waste of time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
What's good about what you're doing is building the muscle. And so, like the first few months of meditation for me, I did them all wrong.
I think I was doing it wrong.
Yeah. But you build that muscle, which is so important, getting used to, doing that on a consistent basis. And then you have an insight, then something comes in, then you might, all of a sudden you're getting a different ingredient in your diet or something. Right. And so, building that muscle is extremely important, and you're doing that, which is big. But the two things I would suggest, one will be both, I wouldn't say are easy, but without them, there's just not going to be change. The first one is, like I said, I think your camera's off. Sorry. The first one is, become an observer of how you are reacting, not how others are being, right? They're going to be whatever they be, right? They're going to show up however they, antagonistic or angry or whatever that is. And so you observe, normally I would react this way, but you know what? I'm just not going to go there today. And so you start to build a pattern of observing before reacting. So you're no longer on autopilot, and you'll see things change around you, not instantly, but you'll see it, change around you over time. The second thing, and this is where you have to find some time in your day. One of the most powerful things that I got from Dr. Joe Dispenza is he has different walking meditations.
Yeah.
And not that you have to do the walking meditations necessarily. I'm not saying not to. Go for it. But for you to pick pieces of your day where do you go to a job? You work from home the whole time, or?
I'm here, with kids.
Okay. And how old are your kids?
6 and 11.
Okay. So are you ever walking by yourself, like ever?
Oh yeah. I go outside
by yourself. By yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So what I suggest you do is what he calls, he actually calls it walk as it. I kind of prefer walk as if, whatever. But so this is like a walking trance, and you look off into the horizon. You don't focus on anything. You don't focus on a sign or a cloud or a tree or, bunny rabbit or whatever. You look out on the horizon. And so you're really, everything is kind of blurry, right? So you're not focusing on anything. You're just kind of looking off, and you walk as if you are the person you truly want to be. And I do this when I'm walking through the airports, right? I'm dragging my luggage, and I just kind of zombie out. I just do a walking trance, and you're still aware, like I'm not going to bump into people. I mean, I can focus when I need to, but I'm walking as if, I'm that person that's impacting people all over the world and helping them become impactors. That not only are we building schools, but we're helping legions of other people build schools and orphanages and abuse centers and, medical centers or whatever. Right. And so, I walk as if I'm, walking up on stage and feeling the lights of 100,000 people in a Coliseum and helping our students get on stages like that.
Yeah.
And so it's a very powerful exercise, especially for you, because the experience that you're having is, I'm great once I got my eyes closed, but then they open and reality hits. Well, this is your eyes open. So it may hit you a little differently. And I found that it hit me differently. That's where I actually had my big breakthrough. And so, I would suggest, do that a couple times a day. If you
Okay.
can become the observer before you get into reactionary mode. Observe, how am I feeling? How would I normally react? Let's choose differently. And you do a walking trance a few times a day. I think that'll really help you. It can be just even for a minute. Like if you really step into it,
Mm-hmm.
it'll really help you. Now, if you haven't, and this would probably be before the walking, trance, I would write down what is it that you want. So I'll ask you here now to help you with this. What is it that you actually want?
Well, are we talking like the first part of the problem with the business stuff, or just not?
What do you want in life?
Oh.
Period.
To be happy, not so short-tempered.
So that's what we don't want. What do we
Oh,
want?
what would that be? Calmer?
I mean, I've handed you a magic wand, and so you rub the lamp or you have the wand and you say, I want to be calmer. Like, is there something bigger than that?
Yeah.
Like, is there something that more exciting that we might want? And
Successful.
I just want to point something out here. And when we haven't taken time to figure out exactly what we want, how the hell should we ever get it?
No, it's good.
We don't know what it is. And I experienced this when Jess and I and our friend Dr. Sterling went to a foster home, and we asked the kids, we said, hey, what do you guys want? What can we get you that'll make your experience more, cool and fun? And, they just kind of looked around like, what do you mean? Like, well, like what would you like here? Like, what could we get you and bring in here? And they just kind of looked around like they didn't even comprehend what we were asking them. And it was heartbreaking. And then one older female, she spoke up and said, some new board games would be cool. I'm like, yes, there you go. Yeah. And so like, but if we don't know what we want, how do we expect to get there or get it? And how do we, it's like in the Alice in Wonderland, if you don't know where you're going, then any path will take you, even a bad path.
It's true.
So even a path of abuse, even a path of negativity, even a path, if we don't know what we want or where we're going, then just keep doing what you're doing, right? So we want to know, who do we want to be? Where do we want to go? And once we establish that, is it, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what is it? You got a magic wand, poof, I'm the Julie I want to be. What does that Julie look like?
You want an answer now? Or am I supposed to think? Successful.
What does that mean? What does successful mean? It sounds good. What does that mean?
Do what I say I'm going to do. Like, follow through with it. Like, I've been training.
So that's integrity.
Oh, yeah.
So that's integrity. And so, if you do what you say you're going to do, that's integrity. And so I'm wondering here, do you tell yourself that you're going to do things but don't do them?
Yeah, as far as like the prospecting and stuff, and then I just find every other thing that's not right, so I can't do it. And
so it starts. This is a big deal, because it's unless someone's just a con artist, right? Unless someone is just like a scammer, it's very difficult, if we don't keep our word with ourselves, for us to expect anyone to trust us. For us to expect, and we don't ever say that consciously. We don't say, I don't think people trust me. Like, we never say that. Right. But subconsciously, if we say, I'm going to go for that run, I'm going to write that book, I'm going to reach out to 10 people, and we don't do it, every time it's a chipping away at how we believe in ourselves and our integrity with ourselves, which impacts every other piece of integrity in our entire life.
I don't know why that just brought something up that might have something to do with that. My best friend a long time ago, we were actually starting a business, and because I was a makeup artist, and we had a lot of money put into it, and we were going to do this. And then like right before my wedding, she killed herself. I don't know what that never even, that might have something to do with that. I don't know. Just popped in my head.
Were you excited about that business?
Oh yeah, we both were.
So you may draw the conclusion that the more excited and the more I show up for my business, tragedy follows. How does that feel?
That makes more sense. And I honestly never even put it together until something you just said.
Because we are, so, 95% of what's going on is our subconscious.
Right.
5% is what we consciously think. I think I want a sandwich now, right? 95% is just on autopilot and patterns and addictions to emotions. And we're just this, meat suit that's on, someone else is pulling the strings. We're not pulling the strings, right? Because all the programming and things that we've observed, that we've translated, are running ourselves.
Right.
And so there is no compartmentalization of, I was super excited about a business. I think it was going to go amazing. And then my best friend in the world killed herself. And, that's a compartmentalized thing. Now we can just run a new business, right? No, it draws, what's the conclusion I could draw? So what's the conclusion you drew from that unfortunate thing that happened?
Honestly, I didn't even think anything of the business part of it. I mean, it was taking a while, like, to get started and do that and stuff. But I honestly didn't even I didn't care about the business part of it after that. I was just in shock. And
right after that,
right.
But before that, it sounds like you guys were excited and fired up.
Oh yeah, we definitely were. And then, yeah, I don't know. I honestly never really, I would see, our papers and stuff every once in a while that I have for taxes, and I was like, lose it. But I honestly never thought anything more. I was mad at her, but
sure.
I mean, just in general, I've had way too many suicides in my life, but that one, was the worst. So a business just never even crossed my mind again. That wasn't, like, I was a makeup artist for 20 years. This was just an addition. So it didn't faze me that much, but never really thought about it.
Well, if it's coming up, it's trying to tell you something.
Yeah, just now it's weird that I don't.
And I just really believe that that there could very easily and understandably be a conclusion of, the more excited I get about business, the more I get into business, tragedy follows. And I couldn't handle the last tragedy. The last tragedy wiped me out. I don't want another tragedy. And so if we associate excitement about business with tragedy, then the only way to escape tragedy is not be excited about business, is not go after it with business. As long as I, play it small in business and I don't get too excited and I don't go too hard, then tragedy hopefully will not happen.
Never consciously thought that, but that sounds about right. So how do I fix it?
Well, you can understand. So first, just a step, way back here
yeah.
is figure out what you actually want. Like what version of you would be, holy shit, that's amazing. I can't believe I've become this Julie. Like what would that be? What would that look like? Would you be inspiring people? Would you be impacting people? Would you be building stuff? Would you be, Ferraris? Would you be like, what would, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No.
What would that look like? The most powerful version of Julie that exists.
Well, I would have a ton of money, and it would be like every birthday I do the suicide donation things and awareness. So that would still be a lot more, and just helping people, obviously, because she was the 13th one since I was in high school, and that's ridiculous. So, yeah, that's a big deal. And just, be home, but not like a stay at home mom. Like people say it's a bad thing. You know, I could work a few hours a day and actually be there and raise my kids and stuff and not have to worry about money. So I could do everything, you know, for everybody else too. I kind of want to be you when I grow up.
I mean, you have a very unique story. I mean, yeah, you could certainly give money. You know, like I could give money to, and we have to, you know, to help with foster care, but instead I'm rolling up my sleeves and I'm being
Doing it.
involved, and so can you. And what I just want you to understand that when you go into this kind of world, you have the possibility of actually preventing suicides
Yeah.
and you sharing your story. And so, you know, you already have a story like many people of trauma, right? Yours is, you know, unique, just like mine is unique, just like, you know, everyone else has something unique. You know, yesterday I was coaching someone with cerebral palsy that has family members that like picked on her and made fun of her, right? Like it's just like ridiculous. So she has her story. But what makes your story really get out there and really make a difference is when, despite this story, you go create success. And so I want you to think about, yes, you can certainly go out there, make lots of money and crush it, give it to them. And, right, it doesn't have to be or, and you can choose to start sharing your story and start sharing how others feel when a close one commits suicide, so that anyone that ever hears your voice, they hear that and they second guess that decision. So you could be saving marriages, you could be saving moms and dads, you could be saving, you know, best friends, you could be saving, you know, different important businesses that we're launching. You could be saving all kinds of people by you sharing your story. And the way that you get there is by you showing, I overcame this, you know, tragedy that knocked me out of the game for a long time. Because like you're saying it like, yeah, I didn't even care about the business after that. Yeah, that makes sense that you didn't, but it's also carried over. It's also carried over into you know, with one foot on the brake, you're
Yeah.
trying to build a business, but if you have this,
That's
like,
exactly what
oh
it's
shit,
been.
what's going to happen? So let me overthink it. You know what? I probably need business cards. You know what color?
That's exactly what
I'll get purple. I'll have lines. No lines. You know, like you'll let's just waste time doing nothing so that we
That's
never have
exactly
this
what I did.
tragedy.
Wow. Yeah, that
And
was
you could,
pretty much spot on.
so instead, switch it to, if I go do this, if I go make it rain, if I go make it happen, and I reach the top, then I'm going to help a lot of people out there because I have a unique story to share, and I can help save a lot of people.
Wow. Yep, I think that's exactly what was happening.
How does that feel?
Strange, but good. Like I didn't know that was even a thing. And I figured it had something to do with my medical history and growing up but wow, it makes sense.
So a couple things for you. One, I would take a minute, you know, and write it on a piece of paper. Who is the Julie you really want to be? What does that look like? I mean, I've thrown some stuff out there, but you write in your own words, and that's the person that, you know, you're becoming, and eventually who you want to be. And if you do that walking trance, be that person. I'm telling you, you'll feel different. You know, be that person that just got asked to speak to the International Conference Against Suicide, right? The Suicide Awareness Convention, the suicide, you know, like, you know, really be that person who's being ushered into the green room to get ready to go up on stage and impact people. You know, and only if that feels good to you. If it doesn't feel good, then don't throw that away. But what would make you really feel good? On what version of yourself, and take the time to write that down. So now we have a target.
Okay.
And then the next time that you find yourself overthinking it, move forward imperfectly. just like you have with meditation, just like I did with meditation. So I'll tell you a funny story. So one of my coaches, he's been telling me for 2 years, he goes, dude, you need to be doing more face-to-face coaching online. You coach people behind the scenes, they blow up their business, they change their life, and no one ever sees it. Like, you need to be doing more of this, what we're doing right now. And I'm like, and I was honestly scared to get it wrong. I was scared to mess up. I was scared that, that I would miss a clue and I would misdiagnose someone and tell them to do something that actually wouldn't help them. And so he's like, well, how'd you get into meditation? This was recently. This was actually last week. And I said, well, I just started building the muscle and I did it wrong the first few months. He's like, exactly. Freaking do it. And so this week I've done at least 2 laser coaching sessions a day.
That's what's happening.
Every single day to build the muscle, because I see this as making a difference. We see the comments of people losing their mind because you're impacting people right now by being vulnerable, and all these comments are coming in on how you've helped them.
Aww.
So you already have the power to help people and impact people. And so, just move forward imperfectly. You're not going to get every prospecting thing right. You're not going to get every follow-up perfect. But you're going to keep moving toward that person you want to become by stepping into that action.
I love it. Thank you.
Does that help?
Yeah. Yeah, my wheels are going crazy now, but yes, that's very, see, I don't think you could get it wrong. And it's not like you're going to do this wrong because nothing is going to hurt. So thank you though. That's a lot to think about now.
Think about, or you going to do some things?
Well, think of me for what I want. And then I'm going to go walk.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, keep us in the loop. We're rooting for you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Julie, everybody, give her some love. Give her some love. Awesome. Very cool. Some great comments here. All right, let's bring out our next friend, Lyle. Lyle, what's going on, man?
Oh, just enjoying the day. Just got home from work.
Oh, just got home. Where do you live?
In South Dakota.
Just got home. What do you do for work?
I own a bagel shop.
Oh yeah, I've seen you in the background doing your thing.
Yep, I'm usually at work when you see me.
Yeah. All right. You gotta come with me for a second because I need a drink of water and I don't have one. So we're gonna mosey on down. Look at our new picture. Isn't that cool?
Oh, that is cool.
We got a whole bunch of new pictures hung the other day. There's one of the fam. You can see that.
Ooh.
Kind of cool. All right.
Nice.
I'll stop showing family pics. People are like, get with the coaching. Enough of this crap. I'm not here to see your pictures, Higdon.
We're all family, right?
Awesome. All right. Close this. Got my water. All right. So talk to me. So where are you at right now? What's going on?
Well, that's the $1 million question. I'm just stuck. I learned all these great things from all your coaches. I'm in the inner circle now, and Coach Jenny Hendrickson is my coach, and
awesome.
And I feel like I know what I need to do, but I just can't pull myself to get it done. I mean, I have the time. I feel like I know, but I just don't get the daily stuff done, and I don't move forward. I don't feel like I'm impacting enough people the way I want to.
What is it that you want? Like, what are you hoping for? Who do you want to become? What is it that you actually want?
Well, I'm 55 years old now, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do really up until just recently. But what I'd really like to do is just be at a point in my life where I can do things for people that they may not be able to do for themselves, because I grew up in a good home, but we didn't have a lot of money, so we didn't have a lot of things. So we were always seemed like we were struggling, and that's kind of just melded over into my entire life. Um, and so I want to be at a point where if people need help, whether it be we have a lot of things my wife can do with different missions with One Child Matters and things like that in Haiti and different stuff like that. But on a scale like that or bigger, to do similar to what you and Jess do, but in a different venues, because we have different things that we feel are important to us, obviously.
And why don't you think you're doing the work?
I honestly don't have an answer to that, because I have the time and I know I need to do it. I'm just not getting it. I'm spending too much time doing other things with, I'm trying to get in every clubhouse room with the girls and all the different things. I'm kind of like that person that, you want something and you see something else that's shinier and you try to go check it out. And then, for instance, when I first got into network marketing again, I did it like Julie did. I did it when I was younger and did terrible at it. Got out of it for a while. Then I got in again and I was doing okay. And I got a lot of people to invest a lot of money. And then the company folded and that didn't feel very good to me. So I just, for the last 20 years, put it out of my head. Until recently, when I had success with what I was doing personally, and people started asking me questions and how can they do what I'm doing. And
what do you mean you had success personally?
Yeah, personally with my journey, because I'm in health and wellness. So from where I was at to where I got, people were asking how I did that. People around me, my family and friends and people from the bagel shop and stuff like that. So I had a lot of people.
So you lost weight? Is that what you mean?
Oh yeah, lost weight and just changed my whole physiology. I mean, 180 from what I was, personality wise and everything.
So I just want to point something out. I mean, I can tell that it wasn't your fault they lost their money.
I know, but I feel that way.
Yeah. It wasn't your fault. I had the exact situation happen to me. I had a real estate meetup club, and we would meet up and talk real estate. And a guy came in, and he was very charismatic, very smooth. I invested with him, told several other people to invest with him. I didn't tell him invest with him, but I said, hey, I'm doing it, check it out if you want. And many of them invested, and he was a crook. He took all of our money. And for me, I was able to bounce back. Several of those people really, really struggled. Now, it certainly made me gun shy, and I don't waste money again, but I was able to understand the difference between that scenario and business itself. You helping people get started in a network marketing company, which I assume that's what you're wanting to do right now,
Mm-hmm.
has nothing to do with them losing their life savings. I mean, it's literally difficult in most companies for you to put more than 10 grand in products in your garage anymore.
Right. Yep.
And you wouldn't suggest that anyway.
No.
And so, for you to reach, if we are so worried about, causing possible harm, that we let that affect everything else in our life. So we just play so small we can never cause harm. Then we just don't get to do the things that are meaningful for us. But the thing is, you don't ever have to. I'm not saying go back and raising money or something. You don't ever have to do that if you don't want to. Like I have a lot of friends that come to me and, hey man, help me raise some money. You know, like I just kind of choose not to do that.
Right.
But that doesn't mean I draw the same conclusion to taking any amount of money or selling someone a product or, you know, suggesting a restaurant or, you know, anything like that. They're very different worlds to me. But the big thing that you should own is that it's not your fault. Did you have money with it?
Not as much as they did. That's
But you had money,
not most,
but you
yeah.
had money with it.
Yeah.
And it's all relative, right? It's all relative. So I remember, this is an odd story, but it'll break it up a little bit because I found it humorous. So I remember reading, before it was a movie, I read Jordan Belfort's books, The Wolf of Wall Street and Catching the Wolf of Wall Street. And he talked about how he was such a druggie that when he was in the UK, I think he was in the UK, he had Quaaludes flown over and it was $20,000, but he was making 50 million a year. So mathematically, that was like what Americans spent on a pizza. And so money is relative. You know, there may have been, you know, people that you helped or people that invested that had more money than you, right? But the thing is, you also believed in it. You also invested in it. And, you know, so you didn't hoodwink them. You didn't rob them. You didn't steal from them. Now, maybe they accused you of that, which is unfortunate. But I can tell just by talking to you, I can just tell from your heart that you didn't mean that. You know, that wasn't you. That's not your fault. And you really need to own that. Because if we don't own that, then you're not going to be able to impact as many kids as you want to. You're not going to be able to impact the important things for you because you're just going to keep, you know, so worried about causing harm that we just never play to our potential. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Wasn't your fault, man.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to believe that. You know, that's the thing. Sorry for.
It's all right. But you just got to, you know, learn, you got to, you know, forgive yourself, man, you know, and are you still in contact with any of those guys that invested or are they mad at you or are they?
Nope. You know, I haven't heard a word since it happened from any of them. And there's probably 2 or 3 guys.
Have you reached out to them?
No, I have not.
Okay. So I would reach out to them and don't be addicted to their response because, you know, I don't know your relationship or anything. But I would reach out to them and just say, you know, hey, you know, I've been, you know, individually, right? Hey, I've been thinking about you and, you know, I feel so bad over what happened. You know, all of us, you know, believed in that thing. It didn't work out. And, you know, I've just felt really bad about it. And I apologize. I haven't reached out sooner. And you say that anyone with any kind of compassion is going to tell you it's okay, man. You know, and if someone comes at you and they're mean to you, just know that, you know, they're going through some hurt. That isn't your fault.
I'll try to find them. It's been a lot of years. A lot of years. I don't even know that anymore. Yeah.
And if you can't, you know, and in a, you know, silent meditation or prayer or whatever you want to call it, you know, just kind of, you know, think about them and, you know, in your head, tell them you're sorry. I would try to reach out to them, but I'm, you know, I wouldn't hire a detective or something. You know, those who I can't find or get a hold of, then I'm just going to like in my head, I'm going to, you know, send them, you know, an apology and send them loving energy. You know, like for example, right now I have a friend going through cancer treatment and, you know, it's very different than the scenario, but here it's an example of what I'm talking about. With yours, I would only do it one time, but for me, every morning I send him healing energy. I just think about him and see him in better shape and see him, you know, feeling good and in good health. And so I just kind of, I may not call him all the time. I may not text him all the time, but every morning I'm sending him energy, sending him love, and just thinking about him and blessing him, seeing him in perfect health. And so, it is a powerful process for you to start feeling better, to do that. And so, I would definitely do that, and just know what you're doing right now has zero to do with that. And, and hey, what if, because here's the thing, right? Do we know when a company's going to go down? Never.
No.
We never know. And so if we always run so timidly that it won't hurt if it goes down, then what are we doing? Like this is just a big waste of time. And so, I mean, I've seen a lot of, companies, close and that kind of thing. The best thing you can do is be the very best version of yourself and lead people in the very best way that you can. And, God forbid something happens, then you're going to lead them into the next thing. You're going to help them out with the next thing. And whatever that looks like, it may be something totally different. Who knows? But for you not to tap into your greatness and your potential because of past harm, it's just like we're just counting the days of this lifetime. Y'all only be around for a few more decades, and then no worries. I can't hurt anybody.
Good point.
Does that resonate with you? I feel like that resonates.
It does, and it's 100% true. I just need to spend some time in prayer and thought, and just forgive myself, and for that. You're right.
Yeah.
Just it's a healing process, and I've always just kind of I'm a hard worker. You put me in a room with someone, and I'll outwork anyone. But when I'm by myself, it's a whole different story. I'm kind of like Julie. I'm an overthinker, and I let too many things spray my thoughts out to whatever. And so, yeah,
I didn't bring it up with Julie because, I want to get her to a place, but overthinking is just bullshit distractions. It's overthinking is how do I distract myself from becoming who I'm afraid of? And who I'm afraid of is the bigger version who has much more power, much more influence, much more impact, much more power, right? And so it's not, and I'll look it up real quick because I really like this quote and I don't want to butcher it, which I tend to do. Yeah, here we go. 1 second.
Okay.
So Marianne Williamson, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. I know that you have amazing potential inside of you. You have greatness within you. You could easily be impacting a lot more people. But if we're so worried about past harm and possibly causing harm, we're just not going to get there. And you deserve that, man.
I appreciate that. You're right. I know you're right. I just have to, like you said, get right with myself and then make it happen.
Yeah.
I got all the tools.
Yeah. And so, you forgiving yourself is really step one of this, you forgiving yourself. And then, if you work better in a group, which is what you're talking about, to move to that next level, right? Then, we've taught this before, do, 15-minute recruiting blitzes with buddies, even if they're cross-line, right. Even if they're not even in your team, just get in there and hustle. And, and I had to learn, it took me a while to adapt I'm used to being the hardest worker. And then when I left corporate America and I'm here by myself, it took me a while to kind of like tap into that work ethic again.
Right.
And And so, there were a lot of times where I would, integrate, join a mastermind, join a group, and, and get some production that way. But I mean, I can just tell, man, you're a good dude. You are.
I like to think
The
so.
world needs more good dudes like you. And so for you to limit yourself while there's blood pumping through your veins and you could be impacting more people and helping more people be good dudes, it's just, we don't want to see that, man. I want to see you
Right.
thriving.
I appreciate it.
Does that help?
Thank you.
Is that
Yeah,
helpful?
helps a lot. Yes. Thank you.
All right. I'm rooting for you, man.
Well, you'll
Let
see
me
me again.
know. Well, keep us in the loop. We're rooting for you. You got a bunch of other people rooting for you too.
All right. Will do, bud. Thank you.
All right. Lyle, everybody. Oh, awesome. But can't you tell? I mean, who met Lyle for the first time today and you already know he's a good dude, right? You already know. You can just tell. And so I hope this was helpful. I got to hop off here. And if you got value from this, so two quick things. One, we do have a free leadership resource, brand new. It's free. This is the very first time ever announcing it. We haven't even ran ads to it yet. HigdonGroup.com/leader if you would like to grab that. And then if you like this kind of talk, if you like this kind of coaching, I would encourage you to grab a ticket to Rankmakers Live, rankmakerslive.com. This is, it's next month. We're 1 month away now. And I'm going to be coaching ticket holders every week leading up to the event. And then I'm coaching 2 a day at the event. So you'll get to see that as well. And so just really appreciate you. We want to help you make the biggest impact possible. And I really believe we're going to help you get there. And so thank you. Thanks for the wonderful comments. I appreciate you. And make sure you thank Lyle and Julie, who I see on here. What's up? And so make sure you reach out, thank them as well for being so vulnerable, because if they're vulnerable, they help you, right? And so they've already made a big impact, and super proud of them. And so I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.